Hey, what's going on, guys? Anthony here from Finding Our Adventure. Today we're going to be working on a little project. As you can see here, we've got the best canopy known to man, the one in my previous video where you guys saw this thing in sustained, I don't know, 25 to 45 mile an hour winds, and it held up just fine. So this canopy, although awesome, can be improved, and we're going to improve upon it in a couple episode video series where I show you guys how we're going to make this thing absolutely bomb proof to where I feel like we'll be able to leave it up at night on a 40 mile an hour wind night. We're going to be adding not only multiple guy out points sewn in, we're going to also be adding some pins here, multiple pull out tabs here on the inside. We're going to be bracing these areas with more grosgrain and Velcro. We're also going to add an alpine style tension system to the top of this to keep this from pulling loose. We're going to add some more Velcro here and so forth. So we're going to be structurally sounding this sucker up even better than it was before. And why are we doing that? Well, to make this thing actually 100% bomb proof. So let's get to it. One of my only gripes with this shelter was that this area free floats here, and it does so that in the event that a giant wind hits, this can buckle and collapse without breaking the shelter. Now, that's all fine and dandy, but I don't want that because I have my shelter staked out to a T, and therefore everything on the outside is rigid, but this can stay soft. So we need to eliminate that. The first step to that is removing this play here by installing some pins. So I'm going to install a pin here. There's two types of pins that I think would fit okay here. We've got this style of pin here with a little detent on the end that can slide in or slide in like this. And I like that idea, but I've opted for something like this. So we'll use something like this. That pin will slide in and it'll lock in place. That way this stays structurally sound up like this. And once that stays like that, it makes it impossible for this pole to bend. And the only thing that could cause it to bend would be something to fail and break. So you start by using a punch. Punch into where you want to drill the hole. Drill a small pilot hole, and we'll drill our 1/4 inch hole, which matches up perfectly with those hooks. Boom, just like that, all done. Just using a guy rope here to provide tension like I did in the desert to hold everything in place. Take all that out. Alright guys, all 4 corners are complete. You can see the pin out tabs are here. Now all I need to do is lift the back material up, pull the cover off, push the pin out when I want to lower it down. These things are rock solid now. They don't move at all. And what's next on this? How else are we going to make it bulletproof? Well, 2 tie outs on each side isn't nearly enough for a 12 by 12. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a Velcro loop here, probably a Velcro loop there, and a Velcro loop there on all 4 sides. And then those will have tie outs on the outside that coincide. So you see how this is sewn in here. I'm going to put a little tie out, a little tie out, a little tie out. And so we'll have 5 tie outs on each side. And each of those tie outs, they won't come straight out, but they'll go and connect to the corners. So they'll go and connect to the corners. And so that way you have strength on any windward side like this, right? So if we're into the wind and this wants to bow in, it won't be able to, okay? By adding those pins on all 4 corners, this keeps my roof secure now, so my roof isn't going to flex in. And if I really wanted to, I can add some alpine style tie outs where I tie out here with loops that go all the way up and are over and it'll tie off here. And if I cinch that real nice and tight, that will also add rigidity to the structure, because as you know, if this were to bend inward, that would make the string longer, and it couldn't get longer if it was tensioned. Okay, so that's why alpine tents have those inner guy outlines on the inside of the shelter that you rarely hear about. So what else is in store for this? Well, we have the pins. Like I said, we're going to be doing the loops here, okay? But we're also going to add loops up here because this material likes to bend and move around a little bit up at the top of the canopy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some loops, probably do, 2 loops below, 2 loops above, 2 loops, 2 loops, 2 loops, 2 loops there, and then 2 loops and 2 loops. And what that's going to do is really provide some strength for the roof area. Another thing that I might do is I might do some paracord tie-outs here from these points that I'll Velcro, and those paracord tie-outs will shoot all the way up to the top there. So I'll have maybe 2 on each side, 2. And those will be tensioned, and apply tension up here so that when there's wind, it's not flapping like this, that it's more tensioned, okay? So by adding a triangular tension system right there, we're gonna keep that material from bowing out as much. And if I really wanted to, I could add some guy lines up there and tie it out. So why am I doing all this for a $200 canopy or $169 canopy? I am on the quest to make the most bulletproof shelter possible. And I want to be able to leave this thing up overnight and not have to care or worry about it during the day. And I'm not going to be paying $900 for the Easy Up version of this that doesn't have any of these features. So that's why. Now, in terms of guy lines, I have about 300 feet of Lawson glow wire coming in. So we'll be adding 3 guy out points to each corner. So I'll have 1, 2, 3 guy out points to each corner with, I'm not going to use line locks, but I'm going to use a different variant to the line lock to help tension. And then I bought some Chinese Amazon Vargo titanium nail stake knockoffs because those are my favorite nail stakes. They're actually my favorite stakes, period. So that's the shelter. Yet to be seen. We're going to add those tie out loops here. Remember, there's going to be 5 on each corner. There's going to be grosgrain or nylon loops with some nylon backing to add some structural support, because as you can see here, just one single stitch to me is not enough. So I'm going to reinforce that with nylon, a couple more stitches, and then on the inside you're going to have your Velcro loop that's going to hold everything in place. So I'm really excited about this little transformation project that we're going to do on this, and you best believe that either this season or next season we're going to put this thing to the test and see what she's made of. I think by the time I'm done strengthening this thing, the weakest point is going to be this nylon top, but that's easier to replace with a thicker variant. So that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoy the content. Stick around. This is going to be a multi-part series. Like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next adventure. Wind, and I want to show you this thing. This is a 12 by 12. I've got it set a little lower today. Typically it'll sit up a little higher, but we've got a ton of wind, and you can see we have it guyed out. You got 2 guy outs on each corner, and I've got some on the windward side here just holding things to keep it a little